We're going to get into a meditation. Every evening we meditate for some time, 10:30 p.m. India time onwards. And I've begun also streaming this live on Instagram. You'll notice my videos off because there's no need for you to see my face if you're meditating. So let's get comfortable. Today is going to be a very simple but very deep meditation. So please get comfortable. You can either sit or lie down for most of these meditations. I prefer if you make the room a little darker, if that's something you'd like to do for the practice. And it's not unusual for people to even fall asleep. It is a little bit late here in India, so it's not unusual for people to fall asleep as they're doing this, and that's all right. The purpose of these practices is to let go of some of the tension, the restlessness, the anxiety that people are facing these days. And I do get some messages from people saying that they had a very deep rest after a long time. So that's beautiful. All right, so let's get started. Bring your awareness to any aspect of your experience. Could be some sound you're hearing. It's nice to just test the flexibility of our awareness. So a nearby sound and a far away sound. An obvious sound and a not so obvious sound. Similarly, your eyes may be open or closed, and even with closed eyes, you're still seeing something. In fact, I once Googled that, what do blind people see? Do they see blackness? And turns out blind people do not see blackness. There was a man who could once see, and then he became completely blind. So he had a very interesting way of describing it, because he knows what it's like to see, and now he doesn't see. So he described, for a blind person, it's like what you and I, with proper eyesight, the only way to describe it is what you and I see behind our head. That's what a blind person sees. So it's like the entire sense door is completely missing. It's like what you and I see behind our head. And for some of you, that might sound scary. And for some of you, that's quite a peaceful thought, actually. Just notice your reaction to what I just said. So take a bit of a pilgrimage to each of the sense doors. We've talked about hearing. We've talked about seeing. Eyes may be open or closed. Doesn't matter. Whatever you're seeing, even with closed eyes, you're seeing something. Let's come to usually the most underdeveloped sense is our sense of smell. Can you smell something, even subtly? A lot of my friends, they discovered during COVID that when they couldn't smell, they couldn't taste. There's a profound connection between smelling and tasting. I don't know if you've noticed this. In fact, next time you have a meal, one bite, just Close your nostrils. You'll notice that the taste dramatically diminishes when you close your nostrils. It's quite fascinating. And any lingering taste in your mouth, or even the lack of taste, you're just becoming aware of the sense doors. My teacher gave a very powerful example of effortless living. We asked him, what is effortless living? He says, notice how hearing happens by itself. Don't have to make any effort to hear. Seeing happens by itself. Even if you don't have good eyesight, still seeing happens by itself. No effort has to be made. Oh, I'll see now. Seeing happens by itself. Smelling, tasting, touch happens by itself. The sensation of touch, texture happens by itself. And sometimes even the faculty of thought, thinking, the mind is also included in the sense doors. You can have extra sensory perception. So that also happens by itself. Thinking happens by itself. Perceiving happens by itself. So our teacher showed us how if all of this is happening by itself, and if you go a little bit deeper, breathing is happening by itself. Heart is beating by itself. Stomach is digesting by itself. Liver, kidneys, intestine, hair are growing by themselves. If you look at it carefully, it's all happening by itself. Where did we get this notion that it's so difficult? In fact, if you look carefully, even the resistance is arising by itself. One of the most beautiful teachings is effort is necessary until it isn't. What does it mean? Effort is necessary until it isn't. The effort to recognize that everything is happening by itself effortlessly. This takes a little bit of effort because that's not what we are accustomed to believing. We think we're making things happen, that we are the doer. In Sanskrit, this is karta bhav and bhokta bhav. I am the doer, I am the experiencer. I am the doer, I am the experiencer. So effort is necessary until it isn't. It takes a certain amount of effort to steady our mind enough to notice how things are actually happening by themselves, even though it may appear like we are making them happen. Many years back, my teacher recommended I meditate intensively on a solar eclipse day. I was still in school at the time. We visited my grandfather who lived in Jaipur. And I decided to go to there was a room on the roof where nobody really came. So I went to the roof, in the room that was a little bit hot because it got direct sunlight. And I sat there for 8 hours. Apart from short toilet breaks, I just sat there continuously for 8 hours. And that day I noticed more clearly than ever before how thoughts arise by themselves. I realized so clearly that day that, I thought I was a thinker, so these thoughts are thinking themselves. It took some effort. for me to experience effortlessness. In the same way, suffering is necessary until it isn't. It takes a certain amount of suffering for us to really re-examine some fundamental assumptions we have about ourselves, we have about life. Otherwise, we'll just go along our merry way. So it does take a little bit of suffering. In some people, it takes a lot of suffering. But suffering is necessary until it isn't. So I've labeled today's practice resting as awareness, because this is really the essence of the practice. Sounds are happening, seeing is happening, smelling, tasting, touching, thinking, perceiving. All of this is happening. It's happening by itself. In one of the traditions, they call this data. This is all data. Seeing is data, hearing is data, smelling, tasting, touching is data. And there's not one or two or 10 or 20 kinds of data. There are literally billions and billions and trillions of data points, isn't it? So many things we can see and smell and taste and touch and think. I mean, it's even beyond billion, perhaps. It's almost countless. And there's one thing in common with all of these data points. There's one thread that connects every single one of them. And that thread is they arise within awareness. Something is aware of these things. Something is aware of pleasant and unpleasant. Something is aware of liked and disliked, wanted and not wanted. Subtle and gross, near and far, known and unknown, understood and not understood. Yours and mine. All these ideas, all these variances in this data. So another nice word we can use for data is, for that which knows data, is clarity. Clarity. There is data, which is all these points of sensory input. And there is clarity. Clarity is that which knows the data. So now what's this meditation about? If you're like most people, 99% of the day, our attention goes to the data, isn't it? What I'm seeing, what I'm hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, and then mental formations around that. I want to see more of this, less of this, hear more of this, less of this, smell more of this, less of this, taste more of this, less of this, touch and feel more of this, less of this. Isn't that the game that's going on? The pleasant sensory experiences instantly create first pleasure and then a clinging to the pleasure. This should sustain itself. And then a fear of what if I lose this? And the unpleasant ones immediately create a kind of aversion, don't like, don't want. It's unpleasant. And the unpleasant creates aversion and a kind of pushing, and then a kind of dread. What if it doesn't go away? And the neutral ones create a kind of restlessness because we're trying to get to the next peak. We're afraid it might slip into. a deep pit at some level. I'm losing ground. So it's restlessness, it's anxiety, or at the very least, boredom. So the pleasant creates clinging, attachment, and a fear of losing it. The unpleasant creates aversion, irritation, maybe even anger and hatred, a desire to push it away, and the fear of what if it takes me and my life in a direction I don't want it to go. And the neutral ones create restlessness, boredom, and confusion. Why am I stuck? And the point of our practice today, and actually this is the main point of all practice, is to detach from hypnotic captivation with the data and begin to come to clarity. What is clarity? That which knows data. Something is aware. So how this moment is a little different from the rest of your day is, there's still data, but now data is revealing awareness. Earlier, the light of awareness was lost in the data, but now all data, including the sound of my voice, is revealing, oh, awareness. Without awareness, I could not hear this voice. Without awareness, I could not feel what I'm feeling. Every data point reveals, clarifies awareness. And which is why if you practice correctly, thinking or any sensory experience is not a hindrance to meditation. This is a big misunderstanding. In fact, there is no hindrance to meditation because meditation is awareness. And every data point, pleasant or unpleasant, comfortable or uncomfortable, it's all revealing awareness. If you really get this point, you will be instantly free. Because when you don't get this point, you keep imagining a day will come when I will only see pleasant things, hear pleasant things, feel pleasant things, smell pleasant things, think pleasant thoughts. And that day, my friends, is not going to come. And let's say it does come. As you all know with pleasure, law of diminishing marginal returns, isn't it? You taste it, it feels so nice. Second time, nice, but not as nice. And it keeps diminishing. And if we feed you the same thing every day, you're going to start hating it. So you usually need to keep on upping the game with pleasure. The same pleasure, you get used to it, you start taking it for granted. Isn't that the case? We need the next hit, the bigger hit. And at the peak, you can only go down. And we know that at some level, we know that. Which is why people get so disenchanted. They're like, what's the point of this? What's the point of this life? Even if you achieve a lot, even if you do a lot. And it's actually true. I would agree with such kind of thinking. But I don't agree with the despondency because we've missed a crucial part of the equation. Sky-like awareness, within which all these clouds of experiences arise and pass away. Sky-like awareness. So instead of trying to find rest in data, which, as we all know by now, is subject to change, no matter how beautiful your current data experience is, you know deep down it's not stable, it's not reliable. And no wonder there's a deep angst, no wonder there's a deep sense of dread. And for some people, it leads to depression. But they missed a part of the equation. And here's the part of the equation. All data reveals clarity. Every experience reveals awareness. And we're not meditating to become good meditators. We're meditating to be effortless. Why? Because life is effortless. Everything is happening by itself. Even the effort arises effortlessly. Nisargadatta Maharaj says, when effort is needed, effort will arise. When effort is not needed, it will not arise. This whole practice is settling deeper and deeper into yourself, realizing just how simple it is actually. This is not a complicated path. But complicated minds are drawn to complicated teachings. Those of us who are ripe, the simplest nudge is enough. We're offering you a map to enter a room you're already in. This is not about attaining anything. This is about recognizing, remembering. It's about uncovering what was already here. So what's it like to rest as awareness, irrespective of data? And by force of habit, we will again and again get hypnotized by data. We will get lost in thought. We will get lost in memory. That's all right. Because just because the cloud covers the sun doesn't mean the sun has disappeared. Nothing's happened to your awareness. Just that the cloud has covered the sun. So never judge yourself for that. One of the great Tibetan masters was asked how this process works. And he said it so beautifully. He said, glimpse after glimpse. That's exactly how it works. Glimpse after glimpse. You penetrate the veil. Glimpse after glimpse. In this moment, which is actually a timeless moment. It's not a function of time. Time is also a data point arising within the infinity of awareness. Space is also a data point arising within the infinity of awareness. your perception of yourself, your personality, your so-called good habits, your so-called bad habits, all data arising within the infinite, boundless expanse of clarity, awareness. All these imaginary chains that you think you have, they're not going to get resolved. They're going to get dissolved. It's like waking up from a dream. You don't have to figure out how to solve the complicated problem of the dream. You simply awaken from the dream. How do you awaken from the dream? Awareness recognizes itself. Instead of being hypnotized by data, it sees its own reflection in data. Resting as awareness. So what's it like to relax the firm fist of effort and enter the dimension of effortlessness? Because that's actually true. What's it like to relax around any kind of pain, any kind of suffering? Just relax around it. Take away the word pain, take away the word suffering. It's just data, revealing clarity, revealing awareness. Short moments of resting as clarity, repeated many times, glimpse after glimpse. The most direct possible teaching. What I'm offering you here today in Tibetan Buddhism is called the view, ditti. It's in Pali, the ditti. And pretty much everybody here who's wholeheartedly giving attention to what I'm sharing, pretty much everybody here will have that glimpse, the view. And once you have the view, the next step is to stabilize that view. That's called meditation. The view is a glimpse. The stabilizing of that view is meditation. And the third step is action. This meditation not being limited to a meditation seat or a meditation time, completely penetrating every corner of your life, infiltrating every corner of your life, permeating, saturating. every hidden corner of this life. Meditation gone rogue, no limit. Full catastrophe living. This is where you start realizing that you aren't doing any of this. It's doing you. At some point, the ego has a scary realization. Oh my God, I'm really not in control over here. It never was in control. It imagined it was in control. And you've had the truth serum that is so scary for the ego. Oh my goodness, I'm going to die. Well, it can't die because it was never there to begin with. Just a misunderstanding. And so we awaken from the dream of separation. All parts of us awaken. And as all parts of us awaken, our whole universe awakens. It has no choice. Anyone or anything that comes into contact with this awareness is seen as nothing but awareness. There is no clarity and data. There is just clarity. There is no gold and gold ornament. The gold ornament is nothing but gold. Resting as awareness. An amazing discovery from all of this is great benefit. All of this is for great benefit. This is why I often say, trust your process. Because even if it seems you're deviating from what everyone has told you, your parents told you, your spiritual teachers told you, you're deviating from it. Turns out that is also a part of your path. Best said in Kung Fu Panda. You will meet your destiny on the path you take to avoid it. Great benefit. This is where you start losing fear. You start even losing fear of fear itself. You're not even afraid to feel afraid. It's fascinating. It's okay to be afraid. It's okay to be anxious. It's okay to have a panic attack. Because you discovered a deeper foundation. Nitya Shanti. Unshakable, unchanging, unassailable peace. Because even that is data. And data reveals clarity. And as you rest in that clarity, glimpse after glimpse, there is no this and that. And it's all for great benefit. You will have to wash yourself clean of every single notion that you have, every notion about what goodness is, what virtue is, what spirituality is, what attainment is, what enlightenment is. You have to wash yourself clean of all the scriptures you've read, all the theories, all the learning. What got you here won't take you there. And yet it was all needed. It was all needed until it wasn't. You'll have to wash yourself clean of all of that. It's going to wash itself clean. Every single thing will be seen as simultaneously a great teacher and a great poison. Great teacher and great poison. And this is how you will transcend both the attachment to the teacher and the judgment of the poison into a kind of undiluted freedom, the likes of which you could never have suspected, you could never have imagined could even exist. A gift for all, undiluted wisdom wrapped in a gift for all, undistracted wisdom wrapped in undiluted love. A gift for all, undistracted wisdom wrapped in undiluted love. I was amazed when in my monastery there was a monk who seemed to have practiced really well, and everyone was praising him, and our teacher took him and meditated with him for 3 hours straight and confirmed that this monk has had a very high attainment. Quite a young monk. And there's a mixture of awe and disbelief and even jealousy, maybe self-criticism. And our teacher looks to all of us. He reads the energy and he says something astonishing. He says to the rest of us, and the longer it takes you, the better. You say, why? What are you talking about? Longer, the better? He's such a young monk and he's penetrated. He's penetrated the veil. Why would you say the longer, the better? And our teacher said, someone who comes directly from the airport to the monastery knows that path well. But someone who's been lost for a long time and coming from the airport to the monastery will be an excellent guide to the city. So those of us who get it quickly, good for you. Those of us who take a long, long, long time, our teacher said, even better, even better. You will be excellent guides. That is stunning. That is so stunning. Even the desire to get it quickly dissolves. Even the attachment to perfection, and the resistance to imperfection dissolves. Gratefulness for being a gratefulness. That's when it occurs to you that truly everything is perfect, including your desire to improve it. Truly everything is perfect, and everything can be improved. Our understanding of just how perfect it is can be endlessly improved. Because that's the fascinating game this is. It's a dream within a dream. It's a joke within a joke, a puzzle within a puzzle. All these data points, every single data point revealing the very thing we've been searching for. And we can search for it for 1 billion lifetimes. And yet there it was all along. The greatest joke of all. Looking forever for what was always in plain sight. Only God can play a joke like this on himself, herself, itself. Searching forever for what was always already attained. The powerful story that Alan Watts tells about Chinese farmer. He has a ranch and he has some horses. One day, one of his horses runs away. And the neighbors come and say, "Oh, that's terrible. We heard one of your horses ran away. What a big loss for you. Such bad news." And they're shocked when the Chinese farmer replies, "Maybe." "Maybe? What are you talking about? You lost a horse. It's terrible news." 2 days later, the horse returns, followed by 4 wild horses, stallions, gorgeous, healthy, strong wild horses. And the villagers come back and say, "That's amazing. We've never heard of this." The horse came back and followed by wild horses. You now have 4 new horses. That's really good news. And the farmer says, "Maybe." "Maybe? What are you talking about? It's great news." And the next day, his son begins training these wild horses. And wild horses being wild horses. One of them gives a terrific kick to his son. His son breaks his leg. And the neighbors come and say, "Oh, that's terrible news. So sorry to hear your son's broken his leg." Bad news. And the Chinese farmer says, "Maybe." Maybe? What do you talk about? Your son's broken his leg. What's the maybe in that? It's terrible news. And a couple of days later, army comes. There's a war going on in a different province, and they're running short on soldiers. So the soldiers have been ordered to forcibly conscript every able-bodied man. And so everyone's rounded up in the village, and all the husbands, and all the brothers, and all the sons above a certain age are taken. Guess who's not taken? The farmer's son who's broken his leg is of no value to the army. So they leave him behind. And all the villagers come crying. My husband was taken away. My son was taken away. You're so lucky your son was not taken away. We don't know if you'll ever see them again. They may not survive this war. You're so lucky. Your son broke his leg. And the farmer says, maybe. And so Alan Watts summarizes that it's not always clear what appears to be good news can be bad news. What appears to be bad news can be good news. Life is topsy-turvy like this. Don't be hypnotized by data. Don't base your opinions on the views of others who themselves are hypnotized by data. The purpose of data is to reveal clarity. The purpose of every experience is to reveal awareness. And awareness is maybe, maybe. Not sure. Ajahn Chah used to say, "Maine," not sure. He interpreted the Buddha's teaching of impermanence, anicca, as "maine," which in Thai means not sure, not a sure thing. Is it good? Is it bad? I don't know. It just is what it is. Don't be so sure that someone dying is bad. That would be a big assumption. Don't be so sure that someone recovering is good. That would be a big assumption. Yes, for the sake of society, we can say what we have to say. But deep inside, be very clear. Not a sure thing. Not a sure thing. It's just data. It's just clarity. One of our teachers had a profound ability to communicate directly with departed souls. This may be hard for some of you to believe, but that's all right. So there was a young child, I think maybe less than 5 years old, who'd had some kind of a stroke, some kind of an incident. And they were in ICU. And the parents came to this teacher and said, please revive our child. He's so young. And he tuned into the spirit, the soul, whatever you want to call it, of this child. He says, please come back. Your parents, come out of your coma. Your parents really love you. They really want you back. And the soul basically communicated that this is its last life. It has had many, many, many lifetimes. And it just needed to just finish off this last little bit of karma, which in this case meant living for another few years. It has no interest in coming back. Its game is much bigger than this human life. But he really implored, come back, your parents really love you. So for a little while, for one day, the child regained consciousness, communicated a little bit to the parents, and a day later passed away. Now you may call this a story, or but I think it's a high quality story. If you think it's terrible that children die, that's also a story. So to me, this is a higher quality story, even if it's a story. Because any story that leads to stilling and accepting and non-resistance to the way things are is a higher quality story. So maybe, mine, not a sure thing, not a sure thing. The purpose of every experience, pleasant, unpleasant, neutral, is to reveal awareness, an opportunity to rest as awareness. And yes, it's difficult. I'm not trying to say it's easy, but I guarantee you it's more difficult to not do this. It's always more difficult. It is difficult to do this, but it's more difficult to not do this. Why is it difficult? Because of a habit pattern. That's all it is. A certain momentum, a certain magnetic effect which draws us into phenomena, as opposed to resting as the clarity which knows the phenomena. And we're going to cut through that glimpse after glimpse, glimpse after glimpse, short moments of resting as awareness, repeated many times, becomes continuous. This is the translation of the highest Dzogchen teachings, and actually the highest form of any spirituality that I'm aware of. It comes to this one way or the other. There is exoteric, there is esoteric, and there is innermost. So what we are sharing in today's practice is the innermost essence of every tradition. They may use slightly different words, slightly different constructs, but it's exactly this. It's exactly this. It's always this. It has to be this. So with those who are ripened in their practice, who've tasted enough of this endless game of searching for the sweet chili, lifetime after lifetime, looking for the sweet chili in what I see, in what I hear, in what I smell, taste, touch, think. Dukkha jati puna puna, lifetime after lifetime, disappointment. Becoming powerful, that also disappoints. Becoming rich, that also disappoints. Becoming beautiful or handsome, that also disappoints. Being loved by many, that also disappoints. There was a rich family that called a great spiritual teacher to bless the family. And they were shocked when at the blessing he said, from this moment forward, generation after generation, let the father die, let the son die, let the father die, let the son die. They said, what are you saying? We called you here to give a blessing. What kind of a blessing is this? He says, don't you see? That is the order. If the son dies before the father dies, tremendously painful. So let the father die, let the son die, let the father die, let the son die. Death is going to come anyway. So his blessing to this family was, let it be in the natural order. Let that order not be disrupted. It seemed like a strange blessing. It's a very profound blessing. So how much longer are we going to play this game? How much longer? The Buddha would just, when he saw a ripe being, whether it was a monk or a man or a woman, and he saw them that they were ripe, he would just say, Ehi, Ehi Bhikkhu, come, come monk. Ehi Bhikkhuni, come. Come and claim your inheritance. For too long you have wandered. Come and claim your inheritance. This is your inheritance. You are not data. You are that which illuminates all data, all possible data. And that data is not separate from you. In essence, you are indescribable, shapeless, colorless, formless, timeless, indescribable, no attributes. And yet in expression, you are full multiplicity. In essence, you are nothing. In expression, you are everything. And it is all for great benefit. Great benefit. It's all a play. It's a play within a play within a play. But when are you going to get the joke? You can't get it as long as you are hypnotized that one thing's better than the other thing. Then you will play kindergarten level spirituality for a long time. May I have more of this? May I not have more of that? Prayer upon prayer. Please give me this. Please don't give me that. Not realizing, maybe, mine, not a sure thing. Not a sure thing. You may still have a sense that you have chosen to attend the session live or recorded. You have chosen to make time for this. You have chosen to listen, concentrate, try to understand this. But let me assure you, this is also not your choice. The fact that you get to listen to something like this is the activity of grace. Not everybody gets to tune into this. Not everybody, even if they tune in, will last so long into this call. Something or the other will come and push them here or there or everywhere. The fact that you've lasted this long into this session, consider yourself the favorite child of the universe. चाहे तो ठुकरा चलो, चाहे अंग लगाओ, तीन लोक की संपदा पड़ी तुम्हारे पांव. चाहे तो ठुकरा चलो. If you want, kick it out of the way. Chahe ang lagao. Embrace it. If you like, embrace it. But the treasure of the three worlds are now placed at your feet. So it's not your choice or even my choice. It is the activity of grace. And once in a very rare while, Shiva decides to remind himself. Buddha decides to remind himself. Krishna decides to remind himself. Christ decides to remind himself. Wake up, son. Claim your inheritance. Don't be a beggar in this world. Claim your true inheritance. Data reveals clarity. Clarity reveals non-separation from data. Non-separation reveals great benefit. Glimpse after glimpse, short moments, resting in clarity, become continuous. Becoming continuous, the view becomes meditation, and the meditation goes rogue, cuts through. Amazing. You know, when you get this, or rather it gets you, you'll not be able to decide whether you should laugh or cry. When this gets you, you'll not be able to decide to laugh at the absurdity of this joke or cry at how long it has been right in front of you, right inside of you, right as you, and missed it. I mean, I cannot imagine. Simultaneously, such great foolishness and such profound wisdom. Nothing's out of place. Every atom is in the right place. Every event of your life is in the right place. Every thing in this world that's happening, pleasant, unpleasant, wanted, unwanted, good news, bad news. You know, my teacher used to talk about corruption. We say government is corrupt and the elite are corrupt. And my teacher used to laugh and say, if you think that this body and mind are yours, you're the most corrupt person. We said, why is that? So this body is earth, borrowed earth element, water element, fire, air, and space element. Your mind is nothing but impressions based on reconfiguring certain sensory data, like a kaleidoscope. So you've misappropriated public property. So this is the corruption. The reason we have a corrupt world is because we are at the root of the corruption. We have misappropriated public property. Earth element belongs to earth element. Water element belongs to water element. Fire to fire, air to air, space to space. And there's no original thought. There is not a single original thought. There's just a rearrangement. When you get this, you stop complaining about the corruption in the world. You realize you're the most corrupt being in the whole universe. Not to beat yourself up, but again, the joke of that. So yes, this is an elaborate puzzle made out of that which solves the puzzle. It's a prison made out of keys. Every single part of this prison is made out of the key that liberates you from the prison. It's at one level ridiculous and at one level ingenious. And let's give you the last paradox of today. Infinite patience is the fastest way. If you want to understand what I've shared today, infinite patience. You decide, let it take forever for me to understand this, forever. If you have infinite patience, you've already got it. If you're even slightly impatient, welcome to a long journey. It's paradox within paradox. Irony within irony. Beautiful. What a wonderful transmission has happened today. Let's take a moment of gratitude. Whether or not you understood anything I said, take a moment to be grateful. It's a very powerful repatterning of your neural network, even just to hear parts of this. And seeds have been sown, which are incorruptible and in their own beautiful time, timeless time, will sprout. In the stream of this consciousness, very powerful radiance has been planted. Ong Ahong, Vajra Guru, Padma Siddhi Hom. Ong Ahong, Vajra Guru, Padma Siddhi Hom. Om Ahom, Vajra Guru, Padma Siddhi Hom. Homage to Guru Rinpoche, homage to Padma Sambhava, all the other wonderful beings of light that are supporting each one of us back home, which we have actually never left. All right, be well, take care, goodbye.